Welcome to Unburrowed, where we ask Evil Genius's professional StarCraft players your unconventional questions. Alright guys, this is a question that we found on Reddit actually, from user Damarust.
One more time?
Damarust?
Probably not it.
What is something you used to think was cool, but have now realized is not cool?
I gotta think of this one. So.
I was teasing Bryce because I know he had a rat tail when he was younger.
Yeah, but I didn't really think that was cool. I used to have a rat tail, and then like basically when I started playing football, everyone was like, "That's pretty lame. You gotta cut that." And I was like, "Yeah." So I did.
I can one-up him on the hair, but I also didn't think it was cool. I was just kind of too lazy to get a haircut.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, you had epic gamer hair.
The famous Noodle hair.
Noodle hair?
Oh yeah, it turned into ramen. Beef flavored. Beef, not ramen.
I was just a big Weird Al fan, you know?
Oh my god,
It
that's so
did look
perfect.
like Weird
You actually
Al.
are, aren't you?
Well, yeah. But
Yeah.
That's
not
no
the
one.
hair.
No one's a
No.
Weird Al fan then gets the hair though.
I don't know, man. I bet there's someone out there, seriously. Something that used to
Jeff,
think
what
was
did you
cool
used to
is
think was
not.
cool?
I don't know, like things come to mind that were like faddish, like pogs, which are not cool.
Pogs I still think are cool.
Well,
See, like all the stuff that like I actually kind of was a fad to me. I don't know. I still enjoy like Pokemon cards, for example. I'm sure like everyone once they hit like 12, you know, was like Pokemon cards. What the heck? You know, that's pretty lame. But no, Pokemon are awesome.
What about clothing? Did you have any clothing you thought was cool?
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, I used to wear the baggiest cargo shorts ever.
Like always falling down?
All constantly, yeah, and like because that was like in like my middle school, and then I soon after realized, nah, it's pretty lame. Yeah.
mine's not really original, I think, but it's something a lot of people went through. I was kind of a punk growing up, so it was like, it was cool to prank phone call, or it was cool to be obnoxious at a movie theater. But now, as a 26-year-old man, whenever those kids do that, it just annoys the crap out of me. So I recognize that was cool to me at the time, but really dumb now.
You made some pretty epic prank phone calls, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
You want to share any of them?
Are they going to be edited out?
These won't.
I think my favorite one was my friend Brett, who I've grown up with. He once called a taco time, and in his voice that didn't have a name, but the way we describe it is a fat old lady, he called up and complained that he found a worm in his taco that he got from them. And they had like a 2.5-hour discussion on how it's not possible because the woman there literally commandeered the grill. Like that was the language she used. She was like, "Ma'am, I've been working at the grill for about 25 years at Taco Time. There's no way that any worm snuck into that taco."
Worms
the whole
would
time.
eat this shit. Like
Brett would break away from his monologue to yell at his fictitious old husband. It was amazing. And then one time, actually, my other favorite one is that Brett ordered. He ordered 20 minutes before they closed, like three gigantic cheese platters for a obese like meeting or something like that. He said that they were meeting together to talk about how they were obese, and he needed 3 like gigantic cheese platters, and the guy was like, "Dude, we're closing in 10 minutes." He's like, "I know, I'll pay you extra." And so they made them, and then he called back an hour later to cancel. And the guy said, "You need to come down here and I'll beat your ass." It was awesome.
So that's something you used to think was cool, but now don't think is so cool because you're laughing
Jeff,
pretty
that was
hard.
pretty
Still
cool.
pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. What was your first job?
Pro gamer?
Nice.
Lucky
Greg
bastard.
pwned that question.
I don't know, it wasn't technically a job, but like I worked for my dad at a machine shop for a couple of years, and
Machine at a
then
machine
I know,
shop.
right? That's actually kind of where I got my name. But I guess my first like not under the counter job was delivering pizzas for a place called the Pizza Shack. It's
Nice.
pretty awesome. Did that for like 5 years. It's pretty cool.
I remember that Photoshop of you with the Pizza Shack truck.
Yeah. God, that was hilarious.
I think my first job was either being a cook at a pizza place or I was a maintenance guy for a church. I can't remember which one was first.
Greg, you missed out on pizza.
And
All right. Oh, and that question about the first job was from Matt Mills on Twitter. Sorry about that.
Mills with a Z.
Matt Mills. All right, here's another question from Twitter from Two Illuminati. Do you guys prefer clubs or pubs, and why?
both have alcohol. I'm good with them.
The girls at pubs tend to be more carny-like, and at clubs,
More what?
carny-like? They're like carny people.
Yeah, pub is too British. We prefer bars.
Clubs.
I can't dance and clubs are too loud to talk, so
Yeah.
not a big fan of clubs. But bars, not pubs.
So neither. Bars. No pubs, no clubs.
I don't know. If I drink enough, I enjoy dancing.
Yeah, Bryce is kind of the clubber of the group,
Yeah.
aren't you?
He does like to
Unfortunately.
dance.
Unfortunately.
Have you had any particularly great or particularly terrible experiences in clubs or pubs?
Yeah, when Bryce gets drunk, he starts poking people.
That was hilarious. That was a funny night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought so.
One of my favorite things to do is to watch Bryce get drunk and then figure out whether or not he has a chance with a girl. You literally dance around him and like it's a really fun process to watch.
If he decides he has a chance, he starts poking them.
This is
That's the
Not the way you're
Yeah, I know. I was
thinking.
just gonna say, Greg. Think about your wording.
okay. Well, for our underage viewers, that's what you can expect post 21.
Sorry, that's gonna get edited out.
All right. This is another Twitter question from Ondairos. What is your favorite movie of all time?
I'm tempted to say Requiem for a Dream, but there's so many good movies out there.
Why do you like Requiem for a Dream?
I don't know. I like the very emotional drama movies. I feel like I don't know, I can actually feel their emotion. And obviously my favorite movies are played with very emotional roles, and if the actors actually act them out properly, you almost feel like you're in touch with that particular character. And Requiem for a Dream is a pretty depressing film, but it was just acted so well and directed so well that it's easily one of my top 3, I'd say.
It's quite good. I have to say The Big Lebowski for me.
Really? Top favorite?
Wow.
I'm a big movie buff, so the question, what's your favorite movie, I think a lot of people that like movies would say is an impossible question because
Yeah.
movies come in all shapes and sizes. But for me, if I had to pick one, it would be that one. For 4 years, Brett and I watched it every summer, every day.
Every day? Do you think you could quote the whole thing?
No, but
Beginning to end?
one of the things that I like the most about it is that just about every single time we watched it, we found something new that was funny. It's an amazing movie.
What about you, Greg?
I'm not a big movie guy. There's no movie that I like enough to say it's my favorite ever. Cabin in the Woods was by far the most enjoyable movie I've watched in quite a while.
I still haven't seen that one.
It's really good.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a good Twitter name. Huck FTW, Huck for the win on Twitter, asks us, what do you guys think of the EG curse? Is there a curse?
It's not a thing. It's just people have different expectations for EG, and they like to be pissy if we don't do well. So any other, just the normal fluctuations of being a pro gamer, the lows get attributed to the curse and the highs get ignored because of EG.
Yeah, it's literally EG has the expectation that because of our affluence and because of kind of how much we're out there, people expect us to win everything. And what I've always said is I'd rather people complain about some curse and talk about how we're not winning everything than to be completely complacent with us not winning everything and just treating us like a mouse or something like that, a team that could do well or do bad and nobody really cares. But on the other side too, breaking away from logic and reasonable answers, there is a good chance that at some point in time, some gypsy or one actually cursed us.
That actually makes the most sense.
Greg has angered people. I
can
know
totally
I've
see
angered
Alex
people.
pissing off a gypsy.
Yeah, Alex could probably from a shoe vendor have upset someone and yelled at him, but then it turns out they're a gypsy. Scott, do we really trust Scott
I'm sure
to walk the earth and not
Scott
upset
is
people?
A gypsy. You
No.
never know.
Scott is, if anything, a leprechaun. But
They don't
and now that I say that, everyone's thinking about it. He is a leprechaun. He like.
do leprechauns curse? I think
Leprechauns and
they
gypsies
just-
don't get along.
Of course
well,
they
so.
curse.
I don't think leprechauns curse. Don't
Honey,
they,
it's
like,
a known fact. All small
grant
people curse
wishes?
people. Yes.
Well, we can ask Bryce.
I like how everyone just looks at me, small people.
I didn't
That's
mean
true.
to.
What do you mean, you people?
All right, let's move on to the next question from Burden Lewis on Twitter. Who's the most famous person you have met?
Idra.
OMG, I met him
Aw.
too. He's super
Actually,
nice.
I don't know if it counts as meeting him, but Kurt Warner. Me and Jeff had like a 5-6 hour layover in Newark, and we spent the entire time drinking, so I just like passed out drunk. And I got on the plane and sat down and fell asleep. But like as I'm in the process of falling asleep, the flight attendant comes up and shakes the hand of the guy next to me and says, "It's an honor to meet you." It doesn't really register. Then I wake up and I look over, like 4 or 5 hours later, and it's Kurt Warner. So.
Wow.
that
Didn't
was
you
cool.
ask
Super
him
Bowl
if he was
champion.
Kurt Warner?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No,
You just
I-
observed that he was Kurt Warner
No.
and then went back to sleep?
We were, I think we were like landing in Phoenix at the time, but yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know. I met J-Dong, but I was too shy to ask him for an autograph. That was pretty funny.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I met a lot actually. I got to do the. I went to the Spike Video Game Awards, and I was in the green room, and I've told my Quentin Rampage Jackson story a few times, but I met Stan Lee, and Stan Lee really stood out to me as one of the most respectable, polite, and honorable men ever. He stood up to shake my hand. He asked if I was in, or he asked if he was in my seat, and I was like, "What the hell?"
You're Stanley.
Yeah, it was really weird. And we talked for like an hour and a half, and he looks you in the eye, he takes your opinion serious, and he makes you feel not like you're in the presence of someone to be glorified, but like that you're an equal. And that was really inspiring because Stan Lee is a very big deal. It was amazing. So I also went on to meet like Samuel L. Jackson and a few other people, but above everyone else, Stan Lee struck me as someone that is worth like modeling your life after. Not even just the success, but just how he conducts himself. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a good lesson to learn about being a celebrity, because you met some who weren't so friendly too, and that stuck with you for a long time as well.
Yeah, what's her name? The chick from, she's in a bunch of movies. She's in Jumper, Black Swan.
Mila Kunis?
Yes, Mila Kunis. Met her. And she was kind of a poop. She was like,
She's a World of Warcraft player, that's why.
well, she like very clearly didn't want to be there, and we weren't obtrusive or anything like that. We're just like, hey, it's nice to meet you. And she's like, she very clearly was like, like, oh, it is nice for you to meet me. Oh, shit.
Well, it's just so interesting because maybe she just had a bad day, but then that sticks with you forever. Cause
I met
she's
the
famous.
Heroes chick too. What's her name? The blonde one?
I don't know. Oh, you mean Hayden Panettiere?
Yeah, she was there.
If you would like to see your questions answered on Unburrowed, then tweet them at Evil Geniuses with #Unburrowed.